Yeah. So if you look at the problem, okay, it is said that a single unequal angle, which is of ISA 175 by 6 mm, is connected to a 8 mm thick gusset plate, okay, at the ends by 4 mm weld. So the welded connection is also shown in the figure. So at the ends, it is connected with 4 mm welds, and the average length of weld is 225 mm. So remember here, it is said that the average length is given. Okay, so not the length at top and length at bottom. It is said that the average of the length at weld at top and the length at bottom is set as 225 mm. And you have to determine the design tensile strength of the angle section if the gusset is connected to 100 mm leg. That's what they said. Okay, so first let's understand what they have said in the question and what we have to do in the question. So they are very clear with the angle section dimensions and also which angle section or which angle leg is particularly connected to the gusset plate. So it is very clear that they said that the 100 mm leg is the leg which is connected to the gusset plate. Right, you can see the 100 mm leg, and the 75 mm leg is the outstanding leg. And they have also said that they have used the 4 mm weld. Okay, the size of the weld is 4 mm, and what you are asked to find out is you are asked to find out the design tensile strength of the plate. So we know the design tensile strength, that is TD, is actually based on three parameters. The first parameter is gross yielding, the second parameter is net section rupture, and the third parameter is block shear. However, in block shear, again, you have two categories, that is TDB1 and TDB2. And the least of these two will be the value of TDB. Right? This is what we have to follow. So this is the first thing which we are going to solve. And also there is a hidden detail in this question where they didn't say that you have to find this detail, but it is mandatory to find this detail. So since in the question they have said the average length of weld, is given, but they didn't say what is the length of the weld at top. Okay, you can make it as top, and what is the length of the weld at the bottom. Okay, so that means what you have to find out here is you have to find out L1, which is length at top, and you also have to find out L2, which is length at bottom. So this is the key summary of solving of this problem. Okay, so this first step you are very clear. Okay, the second step is the one which we have to find out. And also this problem calculation is little different from the bolted connections. We have seen the bolted connections problem, and this problem we have very minor modifications will be there while calculating the block shear failure. The rest of the two steps remain same. Anyways, let's solve this problem and understand the process. Yeah, please make a note while solving the problem itself. So don't wait for me to give time so that it makes convenient for all of us. Fine then. So here actually what they have said is they have given an angle section. Right? They have given an angle section that is given. What is the angle section that is given? ISA 100 by 75 by 6 mm. Right? This is the one thing which they have given, and they have also given the thickness of gusset plate. Thickness of gusset plate, which is as 8 mm, and they have also said that size of weld equals to 4 mm. This is also one thing which is given, and the average length of weld is also given. The average length of weld equals to 225 mm. So for calculation purpose, we are going to take the length of weld as 225 mm only. In the end, we'll be finding out what is the length at top and what is the length at bottom. Fine. So from Steel Tables book, the sectional properties, of ISA 175 by 6 are. So if you refer steel tables book and if you find out the sectional properties of ISS 175 by 6 mm. So first we'll be talking about the area, which is gross area, you can say. So the area is given as 1010 mm square. So this is one thing which is required for us. And the second thing which is required for us is the center of gravity of the section, which is given as 30.1 mm. Okay, so these are the two properties which are required for our problem solving. Fine. So let's continue this with the following steps. So the first thing which you are going to find out is gross yielding or gross section yielding. Anything is same. Or design strength due to gross yielding. You keep the same heading, that is design strength due to gross yielding, which is given as TDG. Right? You know the clause number to refer the gross yielding also. Right? So TDG is given as AG into Fy by gamma m naught. This is a formula for TDG. Right? So please open the code books and please refer the code which is available. That is, I guess it is page number 32. So if you go back to the page number 32 and refer clause 6.2. So these values are available in clause 6.2. So the value is Ag into Fy by gamma m naught, where Ag equals to the gross area of the angle section. So the gross area of the angle section is obtained from steel tables book into Fy value is 250, which is fixed, and gamma m naught is 1.1. So if you solve for this, you will be getting the TDG value as 229.5 kilonewtons. So therefore, the gross yielding equals to 229.5 kilonewtons. So this is the first thing which we have solved. And the second thing which we have to solve is net section rupture or design strength due to net section rupture. We know the net section rupture is calculated by using clause 6.3, right? It is given as TDN. Now, if you refer clause 6.3, it is classified into three categories. One is for plates and other is for angles. So that is 6.3.1 gives you about plates. 6.3.2 gives you about not angles, it's a threaded rods. For threaded rods. And the clause 6.3.3 says about the single angles. Okay, so since in our question the angle section is given, we are going to use clause 6.3.3 and then we are going to find out the value of TDN. So as per clause 6.3.3 of IS 800/2007, for angle sections, because in our question the angle sections are given. For angle sections, the value of or the formula of TDN is 0.9 ANC into FU by gamma ml, okay, plus beta into AG naught into Fy by gamma m naught. Right? Again, if you want to calculate for the value of beta, you have another formula to find out for beta, where beta equals to, I'll write it here so that it will get easy. So beta equals to 1.4 minus 0.076. Please refer the clause 6.3.3. You will get the values of all these things into this. So this is by mistake. Anyways, so into W by T into Fy by Fu times of Bs by Lc. This is what they have given. So before going to find out the value of beta, let's look for the value of the other parameters, which are ANC and Ag naught. What is ANC? ANC is net area of connected leg, right? So this is the net area of connected leg. Now, which is the leg that is connected to the angle section? It is 100 mm leg. Okay, so the net area of connected leg is, the length of the connected leg is 100 mm. That is very clear for us. So 100 mm leg is the leg which is connected to the gusset plate, and the 75 mm leg is the leg which is the outstanding leg, that is which is not connected to the gusset plate. Now, if you want to find out the net area of connected leg, we know the formula we have discussed in the very beginning classes, that is width of connected leg or length of connected leg minus thickness of the angle section divided by 2 into thickness. Okay, so the formula will be length of connected leg. I'm just writing for your understanding purpose. Length of connected leg minus thickness of the angle section divided by 2 times of thickness. This formula we have discussed in the beginning classes. So if you solve for this, you'll be getting to know the value of A and C, which is obtained as 582 mm square. This is how you can calculate the A and C value. Similarly, we also have to calculate the value of AG naught. Here you can see AG naught is defined as gross area of outstanding leg. Gross area of outstanding leg. So I have also said to find out the value of gross area of outstanding leg, which is width of outstanding leg, that is 75 mm, minus, yeah, there is some, yeah, minus thickness divided by 2 times of thickness. So this formula can be written in this way, that is width or length of outstanding leg, OL represents outstanding leg, minus thickness by 2 into thickness. So here the thickness is 6, which is the angle section thickness. It is given. So this is the angle section thickness. Fine. Now, so we can calculate the AG naught value also. The AG naught is obtained as 432 mm square. 432 mm square. Now here, when you are solving for the beta value, you need to know the value of W and BS and also LC. So let's find out what are these values. So W equals to, what does W says? So if you refer figure 6 of IS 800 2007. Okay, so in figure 6 you have two angular sections that are provided. So one angular section talks about the bolted connection, that is the angle section is there in this way, right, which is connected to the gusset plate. So this represents the bolted connection. Sorry, this represents the bolted connection. And you have another angle section which is provided in this way, that is like this. And this is for welded. So if you refer figure 6, this is how the figure 6 of IS 800 is looking like. So since our problem relates to the welded connection, right? Since our problem relates to the welded connection, here the value of BS, that is width of a shear leg. So the shear lag width is taken as BS equals to W. You can see this formula underneath the diagram itself, that is figure 6 itself. So here the value of BS equals to W. What is W? W is width of outstanding leg. So the W is width of outstanding leg. So the width of outstanding leg is, we have 100 mm leg which is connected to the gusset plate, and we have the other leg, that is 75 mm leg, which is not connected. So therefore width of outstanding leg is 75 mm. Okay, now that is how you can find out the value of P. And again, you also have to find out the value of W. W also we know, which is width of outstanding leg, that is taken as 75 mm. I guess it is clear for all of you. And now the most important thing is LC. LC. Here LC is nothing but length of connection. LC is nothing but length of connection. So when you're solving for length of connection, suppose just go back to the concepts of bolted connection problems. What we have done while solving the bolted connections is we have taken the distance, that is center to center distance of the extreme first bolt to the extreme last bolt. That is what we have taken in bolted connections. But in welded connections, we don't have any bolts, we have the welds, right? So if you read the question, if you go to the question, so the length of the weld or the average length of weld is given as 225 mm. The average 18 series 137, please mute yourself.
Paste.
18 series 137. May I know who is this? Yeah, fine. Anyways, so the length of connection is taken as average length of weld. So the average length of weld is 225 mm. That is provided in the question itself. Okay, so the average length of weld is 225 mm. Now let's substitute all the values of in the beta formula and obtain the value of beta. So therefore, beta equals to, okay, beta equals to 1.4 minus 0.076 into W by T, where W is 75 and T is thickness of the angle section, which is 8. Yeah, which is 6, not 8. So which is 6 into Fy by Fu. Fy value is 250 megapascals and Fu is 410 into Bs value is 75 and LC is 225. So if you solve for this value, you'll be obtaining the beta value as 1.2. Now substitute all the values of beta, ANC and AG naught in TDN, right? If you substitute the value of TDN, therefore TDN value is obtained as 306.3 kilonewtons. So please make the calculations and then arrive at this answer. So you'll be getting this answer once you substitute all the values. So this is how you can calculate the net section rupture. The only difference here is taking the value of BS. Since it's a welded connection, you are taking the value of BS as W. If it's a bolted connection, the value of BS, you know, W plus WI minus T, right? This we have seen in the last classes. Anyways, so this we don't need now. That's how you can calculate the gross yielding and net section rupture. The third thing which we have to solve is block shear failure. This is the third thing. So the block shear failure is represented with TDB. So if you go to the clause 6.4.1 of IS 800-2007, you have two values of block shear strength or two formulae, that is TDB1 and TDB2. I'm not writing the formula again here, but just let it for understanding purpose. We have to solve for TDB1 and TDB2. So refer clause 6.4.1, you will be obtaining this formulae. Now, if you check the formulae, you are asked to find out four values, that is AVG, okay, next is ATG, and the next one is ATN and AVN. Right, these are the four things or four parameters which are there in the formula. Now here, when you find the welded connection problems, okay, remember when you find the welded connection problems in the design of tension members, one scenario here which you have to remember is what does the code book actually says is for welded connections. Okay, for welded connections, the code book actually says the value of AVG is taken as AVN also, and the value of ATG is taken as ATN also. That means whatever the value you obtain for AVG, the same value has to be taken for AVN, and whatever the value that you are obtaining for ATG, the same value has to be taken for ATN. You know, AVG is nothing but gross area in shear, AVN is nothing but net area in shear, ATG is gross area in tension, and ATN is net area in tension. Now here, the complicacy involves here is how to find out the gross areas and net areas, or gross area in shear and net areas in shear, and gross area in tension and net areas in tension. So let's look at this. Now what they have said here is, I'll just draw the diagram of the plate on the angle section for your understanding purpose. This is how you can see, right? So on the top, I mean, the average length of the weld is taken as 225 mm. That means the length of the weld is provided on the top. So this entire portion is the length of the weld at top and length of the weld at bottom. So consider this as L1, which is length at top, and this as L2 for time being. Okay. So the total length or the average length is taken as 225 mm. This is the first case. And the second case here is, now you can clearly identify, suppose if I am applying a load P or the tensile force P, now the areas which are in shear are the top area and the bottom area will be in shear. Okay, so these will be in shear and the bottom portion will also be in shear, and the portion which is there towards the face of the load, this will be in tension, right? So that's how the welded connections behave. So the top area and the bottom area will be in shear, that we know, and also the load which is applying, on which face it is applying, that particular face will be in tension. And you know the height of the angle section, the leg which is connected, this height is 100 mm. I'm just drawing this diagram, okay, the angular section diagram in this way to make you understand what are shear planes and what are the tension planes, right? Now it will be clear for all of you to solve the gross area in shear. Now let's find out initially the gross area in shear, AVG. So this is applicable for welded connections only. This is applicable for welded connections only. Remember that thing. Don't apply the same concept in the bolted connections. Okay, fine. So the gross area in shear is taken as, you know, the length at the top and length at the bottom, or average length you can say, that is 225. So length into the thickness of the angle section. The thickness, not the angle section, you should consider the thickness of the gusset plate, because this entire angle section is connected to the gusset plate. So consider the thickness of the gusset plate here. Remember, that's the key things you have to remember here. So you are taking the length of the connection, length of the welded connection, which is as 225 mm, and the thickness of the gusset plate is 8 mm, which is provided in the question. So how many shear planes are there? You have the shear plane at top and you also have the shear plane at bottom. So I'm just multiplying with 2. So that's how you will be arriving at AVG, that is gross area in shear. And the same value will be there for AVN, which is net area in shear. Take the same values. That's what the codebook says. And the other thing is we have to solve for ATG, which is gross area in tension. You know, this is the tension plane. Okay, the one which I'm drawing is the tension plane. I'll just draw with another scale so that you will identify clearly. So this is the tension plane, the face where the load is being applied, right? So now you know the length of tension plane, you know the length of tension plane, which is 100 mm, okay, which is 100 mm multiplied by thickness of the gusset plate, multiplied by thickness of the gusset plate. Now here, how many tension planes are there? We have only one tension plane, right? So you have only one tension plane. So I'm just multiplying with 1, or you can just keep it that way itself. So that will give you the value of ATG, which will be 800 mm squared. And the same value is taken for ATN as well. Okay. Now, if you substitute the values of AVG, ATG, AVN, and ATN, you will be obtaining the values of TDB as 702.7 kilonewtons and TDB2 as 780.4 kilonewtons. You do for the calculation part, but that's how the answers will arrive. So therefore, TDB is actually the least of TDB1 and TDB2. So the least value of TDB will be, you have 702.7 and 780.4. So the least value will be 702.7 kilonewtons. Therefore, design tensile strength of angle section, okay, because the angle section is given in our problem. Therefore, the design tensile strength of angle section, that is TD, equals to, so it is the least of TDG, TDN and TDB. So if you refer, the values will be, you have 702.7 as one value, 306.3 as another value, and 229.5 as another value. So therefore, the value will be, the TD value will be 229.5 kilonewtons. That's how the design strength of tension member is obtained. Okay, so this is the first case, right? I was telling in the beginning of the class, so how to solve this problem. So this is the first case. And the second thing which you have to solve is, since the average length is given, you have to find out the length of weld at top and the length of weld at bottom. How to find out this? So let's make a heading that proportioning of weld. Proportioning of weld. So how will you proportion? Let us consider, okay, let L1 be the length of weld at top or at top of angle, and L2 be the length of weld at bottom of angle. So we need to find out this L1 and L2 values. We need to find out this L1 and L2. How to find out? There is a fixed formula to find out the lengths of weld when average length of weld is given. So now the design tensile strength, okay, the design tensile strength multiplied by center of gravity of the section, that is Cx, okay, that is Cx, divided by length of connected leg, divided by length of connected leg. CL represents connected leg and capital L represents length of connected leg, into capacity of 4 mm weld, into capacity of 4 mm weld. Now here you know the TD value, and you will be obtaining the center of gravity of the weld from steel tables book that we have already taken down, which is 30.1, that is Cx value. You know the center of gravity of the weld also, which is 30.1, and you know the TD value also. And LCL, that is length of connected leg, also we know, which is 100 mm. And this thing is the one which we don't know. So it is usually taken that when the size of the weld is 4 mm, remember, it is usually taken that when the size of the weld is 4 mm, the capacity is taken as 0.53 kilonewtons per mm. Remember this. This value is not available in your code book. You have to remember this. So when you have the 4 mm weld size, okay, when you have a 4 mm weld size, the capacity is taken as 0.53 kilonewtons per mm. Now substitute all the values and obtain the value of L1. So L1 equals to 229.5 into 30.1 upon 100, that is length of the connected leg, times of 0.53. So you'll be obtaining the length of weld, that is L1, as 130 mm. 130 mm. Okay. And now you have to find out the length of weld at bottom side, which is L2. So the same formula is applied here, but with little modification. TD into, okay, TD into length of connected leg, TD into length of connected leg minus center of gravity of the section. Remember, TD into length of connected leg minus center of gravity of the connection upon length of connected leg, okay, upon length of connected leg. Just understand what I am doing here. Into the capacity of 4 mm weld. Capacity of 4 mm weld. So this is the fixed formula. So now we know the TD value, which is 229.5 into length of connected leg is 100, and the value of CX is 30.1, and the value of length of connected leg is again 100. And the capacity of 4 mm weld is taken as 0.53. See, this capacity of 4 mm weld will not be provided in the question, and this is also not available in your code book. You just have to remember that value. So, okay. So if you solve for this, you will be obtaining the value as 302.7 mm. Okay. So this is the value of L2. Now, if you add, okay, if you add L1 plus L2, it must be approximately equals to 225 mm. It must be approximately equals to 225 mm. So somewhere around 220 or 219 is also fine. So now let's look at this value. Okay, so whether you are getting that or not. So L1 plus L2 average should give you the 225 mm. So you have the L1 as 130 and you have the L2 as 302.7 divided by 2. So if you take the average of these two values, it will be almost equals to. Now it may not be exactly equals to, but it will be almost equals to the average length of weld which is provided in the question. So that's how you should solve for the welded connection. The key thing which you have to remember is there are three important things which you have to focus on in this kind of problems. The first thing is while calculating the values of BS, okay, in the formula of beta, when you are calculating the value of BS, that is this value, okay, when you are calculating the value of BS, that's the care which you have to take. That is the first thing. The second thing which you have to take care is when you are solving for AVG, ATG, ATN, and AVN. So the value of AVG is equals to the value of AVN, and the value of ATG is equals to the value of ATN. That is as per code book. So this is the second thing. And the third thing is when the average length of weld is provided, this is how you should calculate the length of weld at top, that is L1, and you should also calculate the length of weld at bottom, which is L2. Okay, so that's how the simple concept of this problem is involved. Yeah, so this problem is specifically talking about the design of single angle tension member, right? So design a single angle tension member of a roof truss to carry a factored tensile force of 225 kilonewtons, and the member is subjected to possible reversal stress. Effective length of the member is taken as 3 meters, and M20 bolts of grade 4.6. So here, as I said earlier, as I was talking earlier, you are going to design a single angle section. Okay, so there is a problem which is based on design of double angle section also that we solve in the upcoming classes. But however, in this problem, what are the key things which we are going to find out are, the first thing which we are going to find out is area required. Area which is required for the angle section. This is the first thing which you have to solve. Area required for angle section. So how to calculate the area? That we have a formula. Forget about the formula, but I'll just tell the procedure initially. So this is the area required for the angle section. That's the first thing which you have to find out. Once you find the area based on formula, select appropriate unequal angle. Remember, select appropriate unequal angle. So in the design of tension members, don't go for the selection of equal angles. Always select the unequal angles. Okay, that will be efficient for the connection. So this is the first thing. The second thing which you have to find out is you need to find out the number of bolts. Right now you have found out the angle section, then this angle section has to be connected, right? So in order to connect, you need to have the bolted connection. So you need to have the number of bolts. And now in order to find out the number of bolts, you know the process, that is initially we have to find out design strength in shear, and then we have to find out the design strength in bearing. And from these two values, you are going to find out the number of bolts value, that is factored load by bolt value. This is the second step. And the third step which we are going to find out is you are going to check the design. You're going to check the design. How will you check the design? It is based on three parameters. The first parameter is TDG, second parameter is TDN, and the third parameter is TDB. And out of all these three, the least will become the value of design tensile strength. Okay. And the fourth and the last step is you have to check for the stiffness of member, that is slenderness ratio. You have to check for the stiffness of the member, that is slenderness ratio. So these are the key steps which you have to solve in this problem. Fine. So let's start with each and every step, and then we'll find out the values, and then we'll arrive at the check for stiffness condition. Okay. So I guess the steps are very clear for all of you. So the solution part consists of initially finding out the area required. So that you make it as a first step. Determination of area of angle section. Determination of area of angle section. Why we are taking an angle section? Because it is clearly given the angle section only. So while designing tension members, you are most probably asked for design of angle sections only, not any other sections. Okay, fine. So in order to find out the area, okay, we are going to have one formula, which is gross area of angle required. That is gross area of angle required. So we don't know what is the area. So we are just finding out what is the area that might be required for the connection in order to carry 225 kilonewtons of load. So the gross area of angle required, that is AG, is given as factored load upon Fy by gamma m0. Factored load upon Fy by gamma m0. This is the fixed formula. Factored load upon Fy by gamma m0, and this is the formula which is used to find out the tensile, gross area of the angle section that is required. Okay, so this formula is not available in your code book. You have to remember this formula. So this is how you can calculate the gross area of angle required. So therefore, gross area AG equals to, what is the factored load that is given in the question? It is 225 kilonewtons. So 225 times of 10 cube. I'm converting into newtons. So the value of Fy is 250 and gamma m0 is 1.1. So if you solve for this value, the area, the gross area will be obtained as 990 mm square. So this is the gross area required. That means what does it says is, if you are selecting an angle section, the first thing is clear here. We have found out the area. Now based on area, we have to select an appropriate unequal angle section, right? So now you go to the steel tables book, or you refer the steel tables book, and you find out an unequal angle section. Remember, you referred the steel tables book, you find out an unequal angle section in such a way that it must have an area greater than or equals to 990 mm square. I'll repeat the statement again. You have arrived at the gross area that is required, or that has to be provided. Now you don't know what is the angle section or what is the type of the angle section. So what we are going to do is, based on the gross area which is obtained, that is 990 mm square, based on the gross area that is obtained, refer the steel tables book, refer unequal angle sections only, refer unequal angle sections, and find out which unequal angle section consists an area greater than or equals to 990 mm square. That's the statement here. So refer the steel tables book, and based on the area that is obtained, find out an angle section, that is unequal angle section, which gives the area value greater than 990 mm square. That's a key thing. Now here, one thing which you have to remember is when you are finding out the angular sections, that is for 990 mm square, right? You don't just go for little greater value, that is like 1000 mm square or 1010 mm square. Don't go for this. How much you have to go is at least, remember this value, at least 25 to 40% greater than of what is required, right? At least 25 to 40% greater than that is required. So you got 990 mm square, you increase this value to anywhere in between 25 to 40%. Then you find out the area. That's the key thing. Okay, increase the value to 25 to 40% of the area that is obtained. From this, you select an angle section. So if you refer steel tables book, I am just taking this particular angle section. I'm just trying. It's a trial and error method again. So try ISA 100 by 75 by 8 mm. I'm just trying. It is just a trial section. You can also take any other value, any other section that has a area greater than or equals to 40% of 990 mm square. That is 990 plus 40% of 990. So if I'm trying this value, okay, this particular section has a gross area of 1336 mm square. This particular section is having a gross area of 1336 mm square. You might say that why don't we take any other sections which is less than that? You can take, but the only case is it must be greater than 40% of the original area. So it's just a trial section again. Okay, it depends on you. You can take ISA 175 by 6 mm also, but only thing is it must have a area greater than what we obtained. Okay, so that's how this angle section is selected. So we are clear with first step now. Now the second thing is we need to find out the number of holes or determination of holes. Determination of holes. So how will you determine the holes? Right? We know number of holes n equals to factored load divided by bolt value. We know factored load, which is given in the question as 225 kilonewtons. We know the factored load, which is given in the question as 225 kilonewtons. And bolt value is actually the least of bolt value is the least of VDSB and VDPB. Now we shall have to solve for VDSB and VDPB. So let's solve for VDSB, that is design strength in shear. Design strength in shear. So the bolted connections concept. So VDSB equals to, you know the formula, which is VNSB by gamma MB. This is the fixed formula. So if you solve for this, VDSB equals to the value of, the formula of VNSB is FUB by root 3 NN ANB plus NS ASB into 1 by gamma MB, which is 1.25, or you can make it as 1 by gamma MB. Okay. Now, here we are not providing any kind of butt joints, and also we are not going to provide any kind of the zigzag bolting. We are going to provide only the chain type of bolting. Therefore, the value of NN is taken as 1 and the value of NS is taken as 0. Remember, so in tension members, you are not going to provide any kind of zigzag bolting, and also you are not going to provide butt joint. It's a lap joint with chain type of bolting. So if it's a lap joint with chain type of bolting, the value of NN is taken as 1 and the value of NS is taken as 0. Let's solve for this. So therefore, VDSB equals to, we need to find out the value of FUB. The grade of bolt is given as 4.6, right? 4.6. So when it is 4.6 grade, the value of FUB is 4 times of 100, which is 400 megapascals. And the value of FYB is 400 into 0.6, which gives you 240 megapascals. So I don't go into the details of that again. So 400, that is FUB, by √3 into NN value. I'm assuming it as 1, and A and B formula is 0.78 pi by 4 into D square, where D is the diameter of bolt, which is given in the question, plus NS value is 0. So anything multiplied with 0 is 0 again, into 1 by gamma MB, where partial safety factor for bolt is 1.25. So if you solve for this, you will be obtaining the value of VDSB as 45272, or 45.3, you can say, or 45.2 kilonewtons. Anyways, I'll just write it in newtons only. 45272 newtons. This is VDSB. And again, we have to find out the design strength in bearing. Design strength in bearing. So what is the formula to find out design strength in bearing? It is VDPB equals to VNPB by gamma MB, right? So this formula can be written as VDPB equals to, we know the formula for VNPB, that is 2.5 kb dt into Fu into 1 by gamma MB. So in order to find out the value of kb, okay, in order to find out the value of kb, you need to know the edge and pitch distances. Therefore, minimum edge distance, that is E, equals to, you know the formula, minimum edge distance equals to 2.5 into D. 2.5 into D, that is 2.5 into the diameter of bolt is 20. So which you can get it as 40 mm. This is the minimum edge distance. And minimum pitch distance, minimum pitch distance, P equals to 1.5 into D naught. That will be 1.5 times of 22, which approximately you can take it as 50 mm. Okay, so you can find, you found out the, you can make it as 60 also. It's not 50, you will be getting somewhere around 60 mm. Okay, so the minimum edge and pitch distances has been found out.
Sir, it's 33, sir.
33.
Almost double, sir, 16.
Anyways, please make a note here. Minimum edge distance is 1.5 into D naught, and minimum pitch distance is 2.5 into D. So from this, you can find out the value of KB. So the KB is actually the least of E by 3D naught, P by 3D naught minus 0.25, FUB by FU, and 1. So if you solve for this value, the KB value is obtained as 0.606. So this is the least value of KB. You try to solve and arrive at this value, 0.606. Now, therefore, I substitute the value in VDPB, that equals to 2.5 into KB is 0.606 into D is the diameter of bolt, which is 20, and the thickness, that is T. Okay, so here, what is the thickness that you are considering? Here you are considering the thickness of the angle section which we selected. Okay, see here, we have considered the angle section as ISA 100 by 75 by 8. So here T will be the thickness of angle section. Thickness of angle section. So that's what is T into FU is 410 into 1 by 1.25. So if you solve for this, the value of VDPB is obtained as 77568 newtons. Okay, so ultimately what we have to find out, therefore, number of bolts equals to factored load is given in the question, which is as 225 kilonewtons. I am converting into newtons, and the bolt value, you know the formula, factored load by bolt value. Factored load is 225 kilonewtons, which is provided in the question, and the bolt value is, it is the least of strength in shear and strength in bed. So the least value is 45272 newtons. So 45272 newtons. So therefore, approximately how many number of bolts you are going to get is 5 bolts. The 5 bolts you are going to get. Provide 5 bolts. Okay. Now, how will you provide? So we have only 2 options. One is either provide the bolts in the zigzag type or provide the bolts in the chain type. Okay. For calculation purposes, we are going to select the chain type of bolting in order to avoid the complicacy involved in the zigzag type of bolt. So I'm just taking the chain type of bolting here. Provide 5 bolts in a single line, that is chain type bolting. So that's how I'm providing the bolts. Now let's see how I am going to provide these bolts. So you have an angle section. You have an angle section. Okay. And in this angle section, you are providing 5 bolts. Suppose, say, for example, you are providing here. That means here there is a plate. Okay. So I'm not drawing the plate because in the question they didn't talk about gusset plate. But however, this angle section has to be connected to the gusset plate only. That's blind thing. So now, if you draw this thing in this way, so as I said earlier, I'm providing 5 bolts in a single line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 5 bolts. So what is the edge distance for these bolts? The edge distance we have obtained as 40, and the pitch distances are 4 times of 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times of 60. So I guess it is clear. And this value will be the value of length of connection. This is how you should connect. So here the height of this angle section will be 100 mm. That is what we have taken. And this will be the 75 mm. Right? So as I said earlier in the previous classes, the leg which is having the largest dimension should be the leg which has to be connected to the gusset plate. Right? Anyways, that's another concept again. So now we have found out the number of bolts that are required, and we have made the connection to be in a safe way, possibly safe way. Let's find out whether it is safe or not. That's what the third step says. So check the design. Whatever the design you have done, is it safe or not? Is it able to carry the given 225 kilonewtons of load or not? That's we are going to check. So the third step here is, just a minute. The third step here is check for design. Check for design. So how will you check for design? The first case is strength, yielding, section yielding, or gross section yielding, or gross yielding. Anything is same. Or design strength due to gross yielding. So TDG equals to, again, if you refer the page number 32, clause 6.3, right? So you will be getting to know the values of TDG, not 6.3, clause 6.2. So clause 6.2, the value of TDG equals to AG into Fy by gamma m naught, where AG is gross area of which one? Of the angle section which you have selected. Remember, you have to take the area of the angle section which you have selected, not the one which you have obtained, that is 990 mm square. It is not that value. You are providing this angle section, that is ISA 175 by 8. So you have to take area of this angle section only. So let's take this value, that is AG equals to 1336, that is the gross area, into Fy is 250, gamma m naught is 1.1. So if you solve for this, you will be obtaining the value as 303.6 kilonewtons. Okay. Or you can make it in newtons also. That's not a big problem. So 3036 newtons. Now, how will you know whether it is safe or not? How much amount of load it has to carry? It has to carry 225 kilonewtons of load. But how much amount of load our section is carrying? It is carrying more than that is required. So which is in safe condition only. That is 225 into 1000, which is in newtons. So it's a safe. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the gross yielding. Next one is net section rupture. Right. So go to clause 6.3, and since it's a angular connection, okay, since it's an angular connection, you know the values of TDN by obtaining the clause 6.3.3. Refer clause 6.3.3, and this TDN formula is 0.9 ANC into FU, ANC into FU by gamma ml plus beta into AG naught into Fi by gamma m naught. Right. Now here we need to know the values of ANC and AG naught. Okay. So ANC and AG naught. We know ANC is net area of connected leg. What is the leg that is connected? We have connected 100 mm leg to the gusset plate or 100 mm leg to the plate. So the net area of connected leg is taken as, we know the formula, that is width of connected leg minus thickness of the angle section divided by 2 minus diameter of bolt hole. That's what we have seen in the yesterday's and day before yesterday's problems. If it's a bolted connection, you have to deduct the diameter of bolt holes. If it's a welded connection, you don't need to deduct anything. Okay. So WCL, that is width of connected leg, is 100 minus thickness of the angle section is 8 mm minus diameter of bolt hole is 22, because we are providing the M20 bolts. So for 20 mm bolts, the diameter of bolt hole will be 22, right? And this has to be multiplied with thickness, which is 8. That is the fixed formula. So if you solve for this, the value of ANC is obtained as 592 mm square. Similarly, AG naught equals to gross area of outstanding leg. So what is the gross? How will you calculate the gross area of outstanding leg? Width of outstanding leg, that is OL. OL represents outstanding leg, minus thickness by 2 into thickness. Okay. So why I am not taking D naught here? Because you don't have any bolts that are provided in the outstanding leg. In this leg, you don't have any bolts. Only on the 100 mm leg, you are having bolts. So that's the reason I'm not deducting the D naught value. So width of connected leg is, outstanding leg is 75 minus 8 by 2 is the thickness, and 8 is again the thickness of the angle section. So you'll be getting as 568 mm square. Right. Now we need to find out the values of beta. Right. So beta equals to, you know the formula. Again, refer clause 6.3.3. The formula is 1.4 minus 0.076 into W by T into Fy by Fu into Bs by Lc. Okay. So here W is width of outstanding leg, that is 75 mm. Okay. And T is the thickness of the angle section, which is 8 mm. Fy is 250 megapascals. And Fu is 410 megapascals. Here Bs. So refer figure 6 of IS 800-2007. Refer figure 6 of IS 800-2007. Since here we are providing the bolted connection, the value of Bs is taken as W plus Wi minus T, or WL, anything is okay. W plus Wi or W plus WL, whatever it is. So W plus Wi minus T. What is W? width of outstanding leg. Now here, what is WI? That's the key thing, right? So here we don't know, right? Here we don't know which part is getting failed, right? So which part? Is it the top portion that is getting failed, or is it the bottom portion that is getting failed? That we don't know. So we have to assume one part which is getting failed. So now when you are not given with a WI value, remember, when you are not given with WI value, obviously in design oriented problems, you will not be provided with any data. So when WI value, since we don't know WI value, what you take, I mean, what you consider WI as, consider WI value, okay? So consider WI value, which should be equals to the edge distance. Remember, since we don't know the WI value, whatever the edge distance that is there, you consider the same value as WI. So the edge distance here is, we have found out 40 mm. So I'm just taking that same value. So 40 minus thickness of the angle section, which is 8. So if you solve for this, you'll be getting some value. Okay, so that is one thing. So that's how you can calculate the BS. Now LC is what? Length of connection. So we have discussed this length of connection also. How to calculate this length of connection? From center of the first bolt to the center of the last bolt. This is called as LC. From center of the first bolt to the center of the last bolt. So what is this LC? 4 times of 60. So 60 is the pitch distance between the bolts. You have 4 pitches. So 4 times of 60. So therefore LC, that is length of connection, equals to 4 times of 60, which is 240 mm. So if you solve for this, you will be getting the value of beta as 1.206. Now substitute all the values in TDN formula. You know beta, ANC, AG naught and all. Just substitute the values in TDN, and the TDN value is obtained as 330,442 newtons. And this value is also greater than 225 kilonewtons. So this is also safe. That means the angle section which we selected is safe in net section rupture as well, right? So the last thing is block shear or design strength due to block shear, which is given as TDB. So refer clause 6.4 or 6.4.1. You have 2 formulas of TDB. So I don't write all the formulas for time's sake. So just let's solve for AVG, AVN, ATG, and ATN. So what we have considered, if it is a welded connection, the value of AVG is equals to AVN. Remember, if it is a welded connection, the value of AVG equals to AVN, and the value of ATG is equals to ATN. This is for welds. But here we have bolts. So we need to find out all the values, all the 4 values. Now let's find out. So I'll draw the diagram here for your understanding purpose. Just a minute. I'll just draw the bolts. That will be sufficient enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So you have the angle section as well. So the angle section also. And you know this height is 100 mm. 100 mm. That is the leg which is connected. Now let's find out the values of TDG, I mean AVG, AVN, ATN, and AVN. So now, as I said earlier, we don't know the failure case, right? We don't know the failure case. So how to find out which part of the section is getting failed? Is it the top part or is it the bottom part? Let's find out. Let's just assume, not find out also. Let's just assume it this way. So you know the gauge distance, that is WI value is taken as equals to 40 mm, that is edge distance, right? So WI value is taken as 40 mm, which is equals to edge distance. Now the portion that is available above the WI value is the plane of failure. Remember, the portion that is available above the WI value is the plane of failure. That means here the plane of failure is this one. What I was talking is, so the section of failure, remember the section of failure is considered which is above the 40 mm length, which is WI value. That means this is the entire portion that is getting failed, the red color one which I am highlighting now. So this section is the section of failure. Now what is this length? What is this length? You have this length as 40 mm and the remaining length will be 100 minus 60. I'll just write it here. 100 minus 40, which will give you 60 mm. That's how you should identify the section of failure, because we don't know, it can be the bottom part also, but we are just considering in such a way that the bottom part will be safe enough and the top part is the section which gets failed. Now the reason for this again here is, if you consider the total 100 mm length, okay, 100 mm length, so you have the angle section and you provided the bolts at a distance of 40 mm from the bottom, which is WI. So that means here you have a little longer portion that is 60 mm length. So probably there is a chance that at this portion, there is a chance that this angle may get bent. So that's the reason why I am taking the top portion only. Okay, so take that as a scenario and then you solve for AVG. Now you must be clear with the gross area, I mean, the section failure in determining the section failure. So I'm just making it as 1, 2, and 3. That is the path of failure, or this entire portion is getting failed. Okay, now let's find out the values of AVG. AVG. So what is AVG? AVG is the gross area in shear. Now here the shear planes. Okay, here the shear planes are 1, 2, and the tension planes are 2, 3. So these, you have one shear plane and one tension plane. 1, 2 is the shear plane and 2, 3 is the tensile plane. Fine, let's find out this. So AVG equals to gross area in shear. So what is the gross area in shear? Length into thickness. So length, so this entire length, because this is the entire portion which is getting failed, right? That is 40 is the edge distance plus 4 times of 60. That's what I have said here also. 4 times of 60 and 40 is the edge distance. And this entire plane is getting failed. So 40 plus 4 times of 60, it is the length into the thickness of the angle section. So which is 8, that is 2240 mm square. Now let's find out the value of AVN, that is net area in shear. The formula is B minus ND naught into T. We know the width, that is length, width of shear plane, that is 40 plus 4 times of 60. 4 times of 60, that is width only. Okay, this is the width alone, minus N. So when I was talking about how to find out the value of N, let's consider the total number of bolts initially. So you have total bolts. You have 5 bolts are there. Just deduct minus 0.5 from the total number of bolts. That will become your N value. So 5 minus 0.5 will be your N value. So N into D naught is 22, that is the diameter of bolt hole, into the thickness of the angle section, which is 8. Okay, so this value will be obtaining as 1448 mm square. Now let's look at the gross area in tension. We know the tension plane is 2 and 3. This is the tension plane. What is this width? It is 60 mm. So the tension plane width is 60 mm. 60 into thickness of the angle section, that is 8. Okay, gross area in tension, 60 into thickness of angle section, that will give you 480 mm square. Now let's find out the value of net area in tension. That is the same formula, which is B minus ND naught into T. So the value of B, that is width along the tension plane, is the total width along tension plane is, that is the width of 2, 3 is 60 minus what is the value of N, because in tension plane, the failure of bolt will be only half. Okay? That is the value of N will be 0.5 into D naught is 22 into 8 is the thickness. So if you solve for this, you will be getting as 392 mm square. Whereas here, that is in AVN case, the failure of the bolts will be like this. Last bolt will also get half weight. I know I told you the reason also. So why we are not considering it as total half and why we are taking it as 4.5. That is the total number of bolts minus 0.5. Anyways, that's another case. We have discussed that. So we have found out all the values, and let's find out the TDB value. So TDB, you have two formulas. The first formula we have TDB1. If you solve for this, you'll be getting it as 409642 newtons. This is TDB1, and TDB2 equals to, we'll be getting as 355879 newtons. And therefore, the TDB is actually the least of TDB1 and TDB2. So the least value is 355879, and this value is also greater than the factor tensile force, right? Therefore, is also safe in block shear, right? Therefore, TD equals to, it is the least of TDB. This is one value, and this is the second value, and the third value is this one. So just write down the least value, that will be your value of 303, 330, and 356. So the least value will be 303636 newtons. 303636 newtons. So this is the design tensile strength of the connection. That means this plate or this angle section can carry up to 303 kilonewtons of load, or 30636 newtons of load, right? But what they have asked is, they have asked to design for 225 kilonewtons, but we have designed more than what is required. So that will be keeping the section in safe position only, right? And the last step, which is the fourth one, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, fourth one. So the fourth step is check for stiffness. Check for stiffness. You know the formula, that is lambda, which is slenderness ratio, equals to L by R. Okay, or it is taken as L by R minimum. So the length is given in the question, which is as 3 meters. The effective length of the member is given as 3 meters. Okay, so 3 meters you can make it as, or you can make it as LE by R minimum. So 3 meters I'm converting into mm, that is 3000, and R minimum. Okay, you can obtain from the steel tables book. R minimum for ISA 175 by 8 mm is 12.7. If you refer steel tables book, you will get to know. So 12.7, and this value is 236. So whatever the lambda value that you obtain, this value must be less than 250. This is the condition, right? Lambda value must be less than 250. Therefore, the section is safe, or the angle section is safe. The angle section is safe. That's how you can design the single angle section, right, in tension members. We'll see the other problem in the next class.